guys, welcome back. I am Tara T with Ulta Factory and welcome to this week's video. This week I have something fun planned. I haven't done one of these, I feel like, in quite a while, and like I said in the last video, we need to market prep before this fall. I'm really excited to really focus on market prepping things. So I thought the best way to do this was to sit down and do another video of our color series. So the next color in our rainbow that we are doing would be yellow. So that's what we're going to be doing this week. We're going to be doing everything in the color yellow. Now, here's some rules in my past videos that I have kind of held for myself. First things first, as long as it's semi-yellow, we can use it. Whether it's variegated or an accent, or it starts in yellow and maybe it finishes in another color, as long as it has yellow in it, we count that for this week's video. Like, I would love to make some bees possibly in this video, and yes, they will have black in them, but they're mostly yellow, so I'm gonna count them. And this week, I did something a little bit different. This time I posted on my Instagram stories. If you follow me over there at Old Soul Factory Crochet, you would have seen it. But I asked everybody like what I should make with some of my yellow yarn for this week. And I got some really fun replies, some really cool things. One of the biggest things that I saw though was ducks. And I was just so excited after seeing that late last night. I was looking like a little gremlin, so I didn't film, okay? But I went ahead and made something for this video last night, and I cannot wait to show you. So this pattern's gonna look really familiar, and you'll know why in just a second, but this is one of Stacy Makes, aka Apple Tree Boutique's patterns. This is the little pint-sized pal, and when I saw she made this pattern specifically, I was like, I have to have it. I love this little guy. I love ducks. And I thought that this would be the perfect color for this little guy and everything. I had some hand-painted safety eyes and like this bright orangey yellow reflecting like colorway. And I was like, this is perfect. And I just love his little face, how he kind of looks like he's frowning with his little bill. I don't know, something about it just makes him extra adorable. And I actually hadn't done one of the pint-sized pals yet. And I was like, I need to do it. And now is the best time. Plus, this is like one of my favorite duck patterns I've literally ever seen. And I love ducks. I really love ducks. And I don't think I've made enough of them over here. So I was like, we're gonna do this pattern finally. But this is one of her very many pint-sized pals. I think she just came out with her mouse. She has a few other animals that she told me about are in the works. She has like a really popular cow. I have the cat pattern as well. She has a bunch of animals in this style and in her standing style. So definitely go check out her shop. It is Stacy Makes, aka Apple Tree Boutique. And if you didn't know, that's my mom. She's also over here on YouTube too. But we just had a market together and she had a whole big crate of a bunch of her different pint-sized pals. And I thought that I should finally try one of them and show you guys them, because you've seen them in the market videos now, but I haven't actually made one yet for some reason. So I finally made one, and I just love it. I love how unique the face is. How she did the bill is just, she's a genius. I just, don't tell her I said that, but she's a genius for the way that she did this. It is so great. And once you get the pattern, you'll understand why, but it is just so perfect. I love how it turned out. I love these big eyes on it. These are actually 25mm eyes on this burnout, but for some reason, just with its cute little face, they look so big, like so perfect on this size. I love how he turned out. He's so cute. I almost want to keep him for myself, but I know somebody will love him just as much as I do at a market. So this is our first make for this video, and yes, like I said, I did make it off camera last night. I was looking like a gremlin. I mowed the yard yesterday, okay? The boyfriend hasn't been feeling great this week, and usually that's his job, and I was like, my new job, I'm sitting at a desk at my office all day, and then I come home and I crochet and I sit at my desk all day. I was like, let me mow the yard this time. Plus, I like to get outside. The weather was nice. It was a beautiful day here in the Midwest. So literally took a shower and looked like a little gremlin, and I looked, that is the only word to describe me yesterday. It was so bad. So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and make something because I was so excited after seeing all of the replies on my Insta stories. But I was like, I have to show you him before I forget, okay? But he'll be at the end of the video too, along with everything else that we make during this video. Yeah, let's get on to the next project. Now, really quickly, before I move on to the next one, I do want to fill you in on some of the other things I've been doing for my business, specifically today so far. So my new job, I get a half day off on Thursdays and I have off on Fridays. So I've been trying to do a lot more pattern designing and promotional stuff for my business and my shop and everything. So this morning I got to pick all of the pattern testers for my hibiscus turtle. So my hibiscus turtle, you probably saw them all in the last two videos, but, well, 2 videos ago, I should say, because I didn't bring them to the market. But I just contacted all of the testers. They're so excited, and I am too. I've been buzzing all day just thinking about getting to sit down and pick all of the testers and send out the call and everything. So it's so exciting that it's finally getting a step closer, you know, to being out there to you guys. But they are picked, they are testing, they're in the works right now. So that's also really, really, really exciting for this video. That pattern will be released on the 24th, April 24th. So that'll be next Friday, or this coming Friday, I guess, when this video is posted. But so it'll be released on Friday, which I cannot wait for. I'm gonna run a sale on Friday as well for the release day of this little turtle pattern. No sewing. There's no sewing on this pattern. You do have to chain out to make the petals and to make the fins. But again, for a whole turtle pattern, this still takes less than an hour, and especially in this Sweet Snuggles yarn, it turns out amazing. I love, love, love how it's turned out. And I kind of want to make another one maybe in this video because this yellow is just so perfect for this summertime kind of vibe. And what better time to do that? Like, it's just turning spring, everything's blooming, the grass is growing. Like, it is a great time to make some yellow things. So I'm gonna pull up my list really quick of some of the other suggestions that I got for the color yellow, and we're gonna pick one really quickly, and we'll pick a pattern and we'll just get started. We'll jump right in. Okay, when looking at all of the suggestions, one that I saw quite a lot was a bunny. People thought that a bunny would be really cute in this yellow color, and I totally agree. I don't know why I didn't really think about that. I guess when I think of bunnies, I don't really think of the color yellow. And I tend to make animals in the colors that they actually are, I feel like. So I feel like a yellow bunny would be really cute for this video. So I pulled up a pattern. I pulled up the No Sew Bunny and Teddy pattern by Nooks_Hooks on Instagram. And her shop on Etsy is Nooks Hooks Shop on Etsy. I got this a long time ago, and I made the Scrappy Bear from this pattern pack because, like, you just modify it a little bit, and I think she has the mod on her Instagram if I remember right. But you can make a panda bear, a regular teddy bear. It has a Pooh Bear mod in here, and then it has the bunny version as well in this pack. And I just love how adorable it is. It has a little bit of face shaping on the eyes and everything. I've done this pattern before, like I said, in the bear, but I haven't done it in the bunny, so I thought I might as well try it since it's already in this pattern. Already have this pattern. It's a great pattern, so I'm going to be doing that today. I will continue using the color Bernat Baby Blanket in the color Buttercup. This color is so cute. I love it so much. I feel like this is more of like a last summer color because like the whole butter yellow kind of theme that went around, but I feel like that's still pretty popular. And then if I make it in a yellow color too, I have to keep in mind that yellow is very gender neutral, so I can make anything out of this. Like usually if I make like a mermaid, I try to pick girly colors for the girlies, but like I can make anything out of yellow for both boys and girls. So maybe I can make some dinos as well, because dinos is another good like gender neutral animal, I would say. So I'm going to be using this Buttercup color, and then I will pick the eyes when we get closer to time. She usually uses black safety eyes, but I would love to use some like 25mm bigger safety eyes in this little plush, but it depends how big it turns out and everything, because I have started yarning under, or at least trying to, at least every other project-ish. So I'll try to yarn under for this project, but if it gets frustrating, then I'm gonna definitely just forget about it and just yarn over like I usually would. But I interchange between both of them, I found out unintentionally, not in the same project, but like when I sit down and I haven't crocheted in a while, sometimes I just switch back and forth. So I'm going to try to yarn under as well for this project. And before I get into this project, I want to talk about this video sponsor. This week's sponsor is Socket, aka Java Sock. This is an item I highly recommend. I use them all the time in all of my videos, and I love Java socks. These are so great. Java socks stop cup condensation and keep your hands dry while you're working on all of your crochet projects. There'll be no more puddles or condensation on your desk while you're trying to work as well. They're each crafted from high quality materials and help all of your ice drinks stay colder for longer, and they're a perfect fit for multiple different sizes of all of your cups. I personally really like to use the can cozy that they have. I use this on my Dr. Pepper, or if you know me, you know I really like orange cola, and so that's also really good with these. And I've really enjoyed using their tall socks for my energy drinks lately. They're a perfect fit and keep my Red Bulls colder for much longer. If you would like to shop Java socks, I have a link down below in the description, and you can use code OLDSOLF to get 15% off of your purchase for all of your Java sock needs. Again, I just love Java socks. I'm so glad to be working with them. Highly recommend them. Perfect for gifts and other crocheters as well. With that, we're gonna jump into this video. Good morning, friends. It is 7:45 this morning. I have off on Fridays now, so I've been trying to get up early-ish and not sleep in and waste the day away and actually focus on my business a lot more with my time that I now have. So I did finish a few things last night, so I want to show them to you and talk about them real quick. So the first one that we got done last night was the bunny. You guys were so right. Yellow for a bunny is actually really cute. I know that Easter just passed, but somebody out there, some little girl's gonna love this little bunny. Okay, this bunny is adorable. I used 30mm eyes. Like I said, she usually uses just black little safety eyes, like normal safety eyes, but I just think that a plushie this big needs some sparkly eyes. So I'm gonna go back and clean these little eyes with some alcohol markers because they've got a little bit of a fogginess to them. Alcohol markers, an alcohol wipe that cleans them off really quickly. Just a little tip for you: if you ever have safety eyes that are kind of foggy, or if you paint eyes yourself and they get a little bit of resin or something on the fronts of them, you can always use like a little alcohol wipe and just clean them off really quick. So I have like little bitty mini ones that I got by like the medicine section at Walmart. They're like teeny tiny little ones. And so I've been using those because they're just individual use. They're tiny little wipes, and so they are perfect for this. So I get them out and I clean off my eyes. I do that before I ship orders as well. So, but this little guy, so cute. Again, this is Hooks Nooks Bunny and Teddy pattern. Like I said, usually she uses black safety eyes and then she does a little bit of face shaping. But when you use sinker eyes like this, it kind of already pushes in like the stitches a little bit and kind of already gives it a little bit of a face shape. So I didn't do the face shaping personally, but it turned out so cute. I love this guy. I'm gonna have to look and see how much I charge for the Scrappy Bears in the pattern and then charge a little bit more because these do have these massive ears. They took a lot of yarn, and as you saw in the clips, I had a little bit of yarn left from after I finished the duck, and then I got out a whole new skein of Buttercup, and it is a different lot number, but you cannot tell, which I got very lucky with that because I didn't really think about that until I got started, because usually I just plan to finish a skein and not go over and then throw the rest in the scrap bin, but I picked a big project with only a little bit of yarn left. But so these lots luckily matched perfectly, so you cannot tell. So I did finish that last night with some beautiful 30mm eyes. And then I was like, I want to do like one more thing really quickly before I go to bed. And if you watched my last market video, I made some keychains last minute and they actually sold pretty well. And people just love keychains. They love digging through the little bin or looking on the big display shelf and looking through all the keychains. So I was like, I'm going to make a little yellow keychain because I don't make a lot of keychains and I think that'd be fun for this week's video. So I made this tiny little pocket frog is what it's called. It was a little free pattern on Instagram. Let me pull up who it was by really quickly. I saved it on Instagram. Okay, so it is the pocket frog free pattern by, it looks like Amateur Hours, kind of how it's supposed to be pronounced maybe. But I'll put it on the screen here for you guys too. But again, it's just a little free pattern for a little froggy. I think I might have accidentally put one extra row between the leg rows because hers looks a little bit shorter, a little bit more squatty like that compared to mine. So if I do another one, I will definitely keep that in mind. But I was like getting tired, but I was like, I want to make one more thing. So I made this little guy in Parfait Chunky. I've been loving Parfait Chunky for small little things like keychains and stuff lately. And this is the color Sunshine. So then I was like, I'll just figure out what I'm going to work on tomorrow. Okay, so it's now tomorrow. And I think I already have in mind kind of what I would like to make next for this video. I think that I want to make something with Feels Like Bliss. I haven't used Feels Like Bliss in a little while, and if you know me, I love Feels Like Bliss. It is so smooth, buttery, like it just flows on your hook, but it is very hard to tell. Like you definitely have to be aware of what you're working on and what you're doing, and you have to be counting your stitches as you go. But other than that, that's pretty much with any fuzzy yarn. But other than that, it's really, really great. And I really like how it turns out. And after making this little frog keychain, I was like, how cute would it be to have some like little mini fuzzy creatures on keychains, like little tiny ones. So I was researching last night and I was looking for a good bee pattern. Now the problem with this is Feels Like Bliss is a teeny tiny yarn, right? So I can't use the smallest bee pattern I could possibly find to make because then it would be like literally like this big and it would be so hard to work in the rounds on something that small. So I was trying to find some other patterns and stuff, and I think I found a good one that we might be able to use. So this one is by, it's on Pogsley Place, but it was Coffee and Crochet 01's free pattern, but Pogsley Place reposted a lot of her patterns after she shut down her Instagram. So she went ahead and reshared all the free patterns for us so we could keep using them since they're friends and everything. So she has a no-sew bumblebee pattern. It looks nice and small, but it's not like just a magic ring of 6, so I'm not working in teeny tiny rows. It looks like the biggest round is at least 16 and it starts out with 8 in a magic ring, so I think that would be pretty easy to do. And then she goes back and she chains out for the little wings, so I think that would be pretty nice, pretty easy, I would say maybe. So I kind of want to get out those colors for that and then try to put them on keychains. I think those would just be adorable on keychains and some teeny tiny little yarns. And to be honest, I only made bigger projects really with Feels Like Bliss, so I think it'd be fun to try a small project with this really soft yarn. After this though, I'm pretty unsure of what I'm gonna work on next because I feel like we've done a lot of the suggestions, so maybe we'll find some kind of magical creature or something that would be super fun. But again, I'm trying to focus on more $8 to $10, well, I should say $8 to $12 items lately because those are really been selling well for me personally. So let's make some keychains and then maybe we'll find another small pattern to work on. And real quick before I start, I will say that I'm using the color Buttercup in the Feels Like Bliss yarn, and then I'm using the black, of course. It's kind of, it looks very charcoal gray though, which I kind of love, and this is called Slate and Feels Like Bliss. And then I will be using white for the little wings. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, it is still mostly yellow for bees. They start in yellow, they end in yellow, they just have a few accent colors. Okay, so I'm gonna count this as a yellow plushie for this video. Oh my goodness. Guys, are you ready to see this? I don't think you're ready, okay? Look at this little guy. Look at how perfect. I'm so glad I picked a slightly bigger pattern than like the teeny tiny 6 and a magic ring, you know, typical mini bee patterns. This one, like I said, was 8 and it was perfect for this yarn. And then I used some little teeny tiny, I think these are like 10mm eyes. They're really small. I've had them forever and I've just recently got them back out to start using on some small keychains with Perfect Chunky, and then now feels like bliss. But I free-handed the little wings. I just chained on top and kind of did what they said. They wanted you to stop before you actually close the body to do the wings, but I wasn't gonna do that, so I just went back after I'd already fastened it off. Especially with Feels Like Bliss yarn, if you know, you know, but it's very slippery, and like the second you take your hook out of where you're at, like stitches can unwind and then you're kind of just out of luck because it's really hard to count the stitches. So I was like, I'm just gonna go back and do it after, which turned out just as fine. So we have a little baby bee, and if you saw in the clip, the yarn barf was insane on the buttercup yellow, so I think I might have to make another one while we're here, while we have the colors out. That only took 20 minutes for using Feels Like Bliss for the first time in a while and doing a pattern I've never done. I feel like that's pretty good. So I'm gonna make a few more. I'm going back and I'm watching Passionate Kelsey's last live. For some reason, I just like to put her on in the background in body double because she's really good about going live and stuff. But if you have other YouTubers that you like to follow for those kinds of things, please let me know. I'd love to have some more friends to follow over here, more people's videos to watch and such. So with that being said, I'm going to keep making some bees, and then I'll come back and update you on how many I end up making, because it could be a lot or it could just be one more. Depends how bored I get. It's raining, the lighting's great, the vibes are good, it's nice and chilly, I got some goosebumps, okay? Might have to go put on a hoodie. I have now made 2 of these little guys. These are adorable. Why have I not thought about this before? This is what I also love about doing these videos, is I always get out of my comfort zone a little bit and make some things I normally probably wouldn't have thought of. And yeah, it's just a great day. There's great energy. Like I said, it's raining outside, so hopefully you guys got some little ASMR clips of the nice little rain. I've got my window cracked, which is why I'm a bit chilly at the moment. I'm gonna go grab a hoodie and come back and then see what else I want to make. Maybe I'll make more of these because I still have a lot of yarn bark from this yellow and I hate to just wrap it around the skein, but maybe we can find some other little patterns to do in the same colors. Like maybe some other bee patterns that we could try. I got a hoodie. There is literally fuzz everywhere from that yarn, but man, like I said, I got my hoodie on. I'm comfy now. Okay, I am back and I made 2 more things. As you saw, we did make the bees. I need to put little keychains on them. I think I decided that they would be much cuter as little bag charm keychains than just little $5 bin items. So I'm gonna be doing that. And then I pulled up some of my mini patterns because I was like, I'm really enjoying just making a bunch of little things. Like I made the big bunny, and usually for these color videos, I make one thing that takes a bit more time, and that definitely took a lot of time. So I was like, I want to make something smaller after making the duck and the bunny. And so I pulled up my like mini folder of patterns, and I found a pack that I thought was really fun that I actually hadn't really gotten into very much. And so I started a Critterlings by Pogsley's Place. If you follow the Cozy Buckeye here on YouTube, you know that she really loves her patterns, and so she influenced me, of course, to buy some of them. And who doesn't love little mini patterns? So I pulled it up, and the first one on the page was like an elephant, and I was like, that could be cute in yellow. Like I said, I'm trying to do unconventional colors more lately, at least, so I can use up more of my yarn. So I still had the Feels Like Bliss yarn out, so I made this tiny little yellow elephant, and I don't even know if you can tell that he's an elephant because he's so small and this yarn is so fuzzy, but isn't he adorable? I feel like if I made him again, especially in such small yarn, I would add one more row between the feet rows because you just go from one to the other, and I feel like it needs one solid single crochet row all the way around in between them. So I would definitely do that really quick. And then I would also make the tail longer. This tail is just kind of like a nub right now. I'm not 100% sure if I even did it right. Yeah, I definitely did it right, but man, it's so tiny, especially in this yarn. So maybe next time I chain out a few more than what she recommended if I'm going to use it in this yarn again. But he's just a little baby. He's just a little tiny elephant, and I think he's so cute. And then while I was on the keychain kick, I was like, I am watching One Piece, and you know, something yellow in One Piece is Luffy's straw hat. So I was like, I'm just gonna freehand a little straw hat keychain pattern because I realized, especially after the last market where the Luffy sold, that I didn't have anything to recommend for her to buy instead of the big Luffy that was One Piece related and on the smaller side. And so I feel like if I make some keychains, that those would probably sell pretty well. Just like the Ditto keychain sold well at the last show, and so I think that this would do pretty well too. So I got out some, I want to say Parfait Chunky, but it's not Parfait Chunky. But it's the Baby Snuggle yarn from Hobby Shoppy. This is color 37 because they don't do color names, which is kind of weird, but maybe it makes it simpler for them. And then I grabbed out this red as well, and this is color 36 in this yarn. So this was really fun though. These colors worked up great, and I already had the hook size out that I needed, so they turned out great. If I freehanded another one of these, I would add a little slip stitch row of the yellow before I started the increases for the brim, just so that there wasn't the red showing on the bottom. But very cute. I really do like this one too. So I'm gonna add keychains to these 3 really quickly. So we'll have we'll have 5 keychains total because I almost forgot about the frog. So we'll have 5 keychains, the duck, and the bunny. So maybe we do make one bigger-ish thing today. I definitely want to give my hands a break after working with such a small hook size. My wrist always hurts. I would kind of like to get back to maybe some burlap or something else along those lines. So I'll have to look through my little, you know, yarn storage back here and see what I can come up with. But something fun after I stretch a little bit. It's also 10:30 now, so we got done 4 keychains this morning, along with, okay, again, I'm doing some pattern testing right now, or I'm hosting a pattern test, I should say. So I've been replying to messages and stuff through there. So I have been slightly distracted, I will say. But I definitely need an energy drink. It's that time of day. You're not supposed to have caffeine within like the first hour of waking up because your body's still waking up. So the caffeine doesn't even have a full effect on you. So I've definitely been awake for more than an hour now. So I think it's time to treat myself to another energy drink today. Maybe just a mini one. We'll see what flavors I have. I'll keep you updated on that at least. So I'm going to put back some of these yarns though, because I've gotten a lot of yarn out and I haven't put any away yet this morning. So I'm going to put some of these yarns away and then kind of see what other yellows I might have laying around, and maybe we can make one more thing for this video. Okay, so I do want to go over some of my yarn collection really quickly. I need to put back a few colors, but I think that I have some yellow yarn back here in this corner. So I wanted to investigate really quickly with you guys. Okay, let's see what yarn we have hiding back here. Oh, you guys are gonna like this. It's a new kind of yarn. It's Zaddy Craft's really good chenille yarn. I found some really good chenille yarn in the colors yellow and orange. And of course, this is classic duck colors, but I think I'm gonna make some Tice the Turtles in these colorways. I think this would be super fun. I could probably make them with just regular black safety eyes and whip them out really fast. I don't think I have safety eyes that are necessarily small enough to use with this yarn size, and when I've made Tice the Turtles with this yarn in the past, I've just used black safety eyes, and when I do that I can charge a little bit less too, which is always nice too for some of my customers. So I think I'm gonna be doing that. I think we should, I know that I have to use the orange, obviously there has to be an accent color, but maybe we can make one with the main body yellow and then the shell orange, and then switch them for the second one. But also this yarn works really well with Sweet Snuggles Light, and I do have some chenille bloom yarn, so maybe we could do a little flowery shell as well on one of them. So I'm gonna get started on that then and see how far we get. These work up fairly quickly. I will try to time it though for you guys so you can see exactly how long it takes. I will say it's been a minute since I've done a Tice the Turtle, because I have been making the hibiscus version that is in testing right now. So I'm gonna put keychains on the little minis that we just made, and then I will start on a turtle for you guys. Okay, so I made my Tice the Turtle, and as you saw, it took just over 30 minutes, but I was slightly distracted. The one piece was getting pretty good, I cannot lie. And I tried to start my magic ring for the shell and had to just cut it off because it wasn't working, because it's been a minute since I've used that chenille yarn, and the really good chenille did really good. And then I got to the bloom yarn and it was like not that great, which I should have probably guessed. So anyways, I want to show you my finished Tice the Turtle. Here he is. He is adorable. Okay, like I said, it took me 30 minutes to make. I ended up using regular safety eyes, just the black normal safety eyes. Looking at it now, I think these are 16 millimeters, and I usually use 20 millimeters with the burnout when I make it in this size. So I'm glad I went with the regular safety eyes because these already look, I mean, huge. These look huge on this little tiny turtle, but I think it's adorable with that. And the shell, are you kidding me? This is as yellow as I could possibly get this thing. It just didn't feel right to end up using the orange, so I was like, we have to make the yellow shell. And this little bloom yarn is so cute. It's like strawberry lemonade kind of vibes with the little pink speckles in there. So I love how this thing turned out. I love it, love it, love it. And turtles sell so well. That is one of our biggest sellers from our last market. I personally made a lot of teaks and talons, which is my baby sea turtle pattern and baby land turtle pattern. It's like a little bundle with both of them in there. But mom made a bunch of, not a bunch of, I say that like she made a million of them, but she made like, I think she had like 5 or 6-ish Tice the Turtles, and I think 3 or 4 of them sold. I mean, you can go back and watch the video, but they were on that checkout table at the very front left corner of our booth, and by the end of the day, there definitely was not as many, but I wanted to go ahead and make some more for myself. I used to have a bunch of these, and then they just kept selling and selling and selling, and then I just kind of didn't hyperfixate on this pattern for a while. So definitely need to go back and make more of these guys for the next market, especially with this really good chenille yarn. Again, I think the only time I have used this yarn was when I made my Percy the pig pattern, like the little 4-legged standing pig, and I used the pink yarn, and I remember why I liked it so much. This is just so great. I loved this size. It did recommend to use a 5 with it, and I did use a 5, but I think next time I either just need to make my tension slightly tighter or I need to go down to a 4.5, because I feel like it could be just a little bit tighter. It's not bad at all, and there's no holes or gaps or anything, but I would like it to be slightly tighter. And I think I yarned under, if I remember right, for this, so I definitely want to yarn over for the next one, because that automatically makes your stitches a little bit tighter. I would use a 4.5 next time when I yarn over, but if I yarn under on the next one, a 5mm hook again, I think would be fine, which is what the yarn recommended. So I think that would be fine next time. We have made so many things though. Usually I don't even get to make these many things for the yellow videos, but like I said, recently I switched to less hours at my job, and I switched to a new job, so I've had more time to create lately, and I specifically got up early to do these projects. So I really like this, and I already feel like I'm getting a good step towards market prepping for our next markets in the fall time. So yeah, this has been really fun so far. Okay, so let's do a recap of everything that we ended up making for this week's yellow video. We had lots of keychains. Okay, let me get them all. I don't know how to hold all of these. So we ended up making 5 keychains. We made the little pocket frog, which again was a free pattern on Instagram. I freehanded the little Luffy straw hat. We did the little bee. Oh, I love these little bees. I'm gonna have to make more of them, especially if they sell well. And then we had the little elephant, so we got all of these put onto keychains. And then we made a Tice the Turtle in this little yellow yarn with the little floral shell. I think it's so cute. It's kind of cute because it also matches my little fish nails right now. We, of course, made our little duck pint-sized pal. I don't know. I still think that this one might be my favorite. The little bee keychains or the duck. I don't know. I think it's just the perfect eyes and the perfect yarn and that cute little face and the little flippies. I love how this pattern turned out. And if my mom was already making a bunch of them for our markets, I would market prep these like crazy. So I'm definitely gonna have to try some more for pint-sized pals. Specifically, I want to make a goose and put a little blue bow, I think, on the back of its like neck right here. I think that would be so cute. And then our biggest make from this week was, of course, our Nooks Hooks bunny. This no-sew bunny was literally so much fun to make. I loved how the little feet are shaped, how it has a little belly, these big ears. I usually hate making bunnies because of the big ears, but again, this whole video series is about getting rid of yarns, and I feel like we definitely dipped into a lot of our yellow yarns. We used the rest of this buttercup skein that we had and opened up a new one and used quite a bit of it on this bunny and the duck together. So we got through a lot of yarns, and I got to remember that I really do like the really good chenille yarns. So this was a great, fun video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here and leaving recommendations, of course, on my Instagram. Just as a reminder, on the 24th, my hibiscus turtle pattern will also be available in my shop. So go ahead and follow my Etsy shop down below. And remember, it will be on sale that day. So if you want it, watch for the sale on the Friday, okay? I'm looking at you. And if you have any questions, drop them down below. Of course, we will be doing more of these in the future, and you could probably guess by the playlist that this is in what the next color might be, which will be a personal favorite of mine. And if you need anything, you know where to find me. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye!